I know we just came off a disappointing week 10, but you know what? I went back to review all of week 10, and even though there were some games that should have not gone the way they did, there were so many that did, and we just got to be able to point them out. Uh, I'm going to try to see best how I can explain some of these games. Now, the thing is with these, they're all in theory. Akron is actually good enough, and being at home, point spread looks solid. UMass is just horrible. I'm taking Akron. Akron should be actually a pretty solid bet. Ohio at home, they're going up against a good Miami, Ohio team. This could actually be a coin flip. Whenever it is, I usually always say go with the home team, but it's not one of my solid plays because they're too evenly matched. Kent, out of nowhere, has been playing so much better. Ball State, they both suck, so I'm not even touching this. I'm trying to go for solids. Toledo is still considered the way better team. This could actually probably be a good pick going in Toledo side. It should be like they should run over them. So I do like Toledo, but I still won't put it in my top seven. Georgia Southern, Appalachia State. Too evenly matched, guys. I don't like touching games like this. I want to look for the blowouts. I know UTSA just did the impossible against a really good team. But you know what? I've been on the South Florida bandwagon. Point spread looks confident. I'm taking South Florida at home. That defense looks sick. And UTCA just got lucky this week. You know what? You South Florida hasn't been getting lucky. They actually play solid. I'll stick to solid. I'm going for South Florida as one of my big ones. UCF just had their ass handed to them by Baylor. Houston is playing solid football, but I cannot touch this one. Point spread looks so fucking crazy. So I'm not touching it. UCL, USC. USC always plays with emotion. Them at home, I will actually take this. Point spread is high, but I like it. I like USC at home, especially at home. Yeah, this should be an easy cover, but I just feel like I can't count on USC too much, but it should be a solid pick. Something is telling me go with Memphis, but Tulane has been playing solid all year. Last week completely killed me. I can't believe they did as bad as they did. Um, but these divisions, Tulane usually eats up teams like Memphis. And even though I like how Memphis is playing, I can't touch this game. Oh, another hard one. I've been on the Texas Tech bandwagon and BYU so many times. I was like, nah, they're not gonna cover this one, and they freaking do it because of their defense. So this is a very difficult game. If anything, I would like to check the points on BYU because I can't go against them either. As good as Texas Tech has been playing, BYU can stand with anybody. So this is a very hard game. Colorado, West Virginia, they're both crap. If anything, West Virginia looked the best I've ever seen them this Saturday. So I can't pick them over one game. And Colorado's just bad, so I'm not touching this. Georgia at least came back for me. They came back against Florida, which I didn't think Florida could give them a game. I've been down in Mississippi State, and they're always doing good, always doing good. But I gotta pick Georgia. I don't like the point spread again. Honestly, I gotta try them just to try them, but I don't like games like this anymore. When there's a spotlighted team and they're at a 7.5, it never goes good. So this game is very difficult. In theory, Georgia should blow out Mississippi State. Honestly, it shouldn't be a comparison. But Mississippi State has been playing great.
Why did you go changing your
This
room?
one, nah, that's it. This one
Make sure
should be
nothing
easy.
touches the floor.
Indiana
Lift them
guaranteed
closer.
cover. They're legit. Indiana's legit over Penn State. So I'm taking Indiana. I like James Madison over Marshall. Oh, I think they cover this game. I do, but I do. James Madison is definitely solid. SMU, another solid team. Boston College is lousy this year. SMU should cover this easily. Southern Miss has been for real. I couldn't believe it. Southern Miss was been one of the worst teams for years, and they're playing so good. Arkansas State can't stand with Southern Miss. Southern Miss should win this one easily. If they don't, it's just one of those games. It just backfires. But Southern Miss has been playing solid. Army and Temple, that's a coin flip. They both, yeah. I can't touch this game. This game is it could go either way. Like I said, I'm trying to pick more solid teams this week. This one I can't touch it either. I would kind of give that edge to Liberty, but Missouri State doesn't play bad. I would just give it to Liberty. As it has a high probability. All right, now we're looking at the big high point spreads. Even though Purdue played pretty good, and I kind of knew they were going to cover, just because I think it was against Notre Dame. Notre Dame doesn't um, cover point spreads. Well, Ohio State loves to destroy point spreads, and I feel like they're gonna put it on Purdue. Ohio State's still been solid. That's one team I could still say I could count on. I think they destroyed Purdue. This one I don't think we'll be able to bet on it. Ole Miss against Citadel shall take it even with 49 points. I got a feeling Rice should beat UAB with no problem, but it's one of those games I don't even think I'll touch. Maryland should still be good enough to beat Rutgers, but I'm really not gonna bet this game. East Carolina's been solid. They're a very, very good team. Charlotte's just horrible. That's why you see the point spread so high. East Carolina has not been disappointing. Uh, I went with them this Saturday. I even put it on my video. I had a feeling they were gonna win, and they've been solid. So I'll take East Carolina. This one could go either way. I don't like Middleton, Tennessee. I never have. If anything, FIU, but at FIU, you never know when they're gonna be great or when they're not. Because sometimes they've been playing great. So I can't touch this game. I'll give the edge to Jacksonville State. I don't like this game either, but they're the better record and they 1 point spread. No, I can't touch this game. LA Tech, another one. They just came just kicking ass this Saturday. Do they follow this momentum? I would take them. I would take them over Delaware. Delaware just can't play teams outside the division, so I'll take LA Tech. FAU and Tulsa, like I said, you can't count on these teams. I won't touch it. UConn, I've doubted them so many times, and they pulled through, especially like this Saturday. I knew they were the better team, but something told me don't go with them, and they prevailed again. But Duke is in a different league. I think Duke crushes UConn in this game. I really do. You saw the game against Clemson. I gotta feel that Duke is in a different level, so I gotta go with Duke over UConn. If you somehow UConn gives them a game, props to them, but I'll take Duke all day. TCU also another solid team, another good solid football team. That's why you see them favorite. Iowa State does play good, but I love my TCU team. I think they'll cover easily. Arizona, I got a feeling they'll win. And being at home, I don't see how they don't. Arizona just came off a good win too, which I thought they had the edge. And Kansas is just playing lousy again. So I'll give it to Arizona. But this is one game I probably won't touch it, but I have a strong feeling in Arizona. In Oregon, why wouldn't this be a bigger point spread? Iowa just has defense. Oregon has both offense and defense. And I know Iowa's been playing a little better, but this is this should be an easy pick. I'll go with Oregon all day, but I smell trap here somehow. But I'll go with Oregon. Miami, I know they came off that horrible play this week, but Syracuse is just a really bad team. There's been 3 28-point spread games. You know, one of them is not gonna do good. But this looks like an easy game for Miami. I'm gonna have to try it out at least once. But I'll go with Miami just because of how horrible Syracuse is, and cover the points. Oh, this one is very difficult. Very difficult game. Missouri could hold on with anybody. And Texas A&M is undefeated, but Missouri could stand with anybody right now. So this is a coin flip, guys. I cannot pick it either way. I would love to say give the edge to Texas A&M, but this is a very difficult game. Vanderbilt. Auburn is just playing horrible. I'll take it to Vandy. Vandy is for sure it's solid. I like them to cover and to beat Auburn easily. I would say Coastal Carolina, but I do not like this game. I really don't. Coastal Carolina's been playing so good lately, but I still can't give them the edge. I don't like this team. I don't like a team that you never know when they're going to play good or not. And they've had some horrible losses this year. And I know they're in the playing better now, but I still can't take it. I would say Kennesaw State, but New Mexico is at home, so I'd rather just not take this game. But that's why you see Kennesaw State favorite, because I think they're the better team over New Mexico State. But New Mexico State has been, say, the show light of playing good at times, so I'd rather just not touch it. And North Carolina's also been playing better lately, so. But I can't go off of that. I can't go off of that. I think North Carolina wins it. Stanford is just horrible this year, but I can't touch that game. And Wisconsin, Washington, I'm finally gonna pick them. So that probably means they're gonna lose, but I'm finally gonna pick them because they've been playing such good football. And Wisconsin is just horrible, so I'll give it to Washington easily to cover. I don't like this game, but I will give it to the Raging Cajuns at home. I just got a feeling they'll win, but this game is unpredictable too. But I will give it to the home team. I'll give it to Air Force. San Jose State is not bad at home either. So this is a coin flip, but I just have a feeling Air Force might. Yeah, but that's a hard game. Louisville, also a team that's been solid for me all year. But California is one of those teams that plays hard and might keep it close. So be very careful with this one. I do love Louisville, though, but do they cover? That's a big place for the cover, so be careful. It's not an easy game. Florida State. I had a feeling they were going to win this week, but I still couldn't take them. I thought their opponent was a lot better on defense. I think it was Wake Forest, but right now they do got momentum. I would say give it to Florida State, but Clemson is favorites, so I don't know. I can't touch this game. Wake Forest, Virginia. Virginia should have the edge on this, and they're at home. Uh, I would say Virginia should win this, but Wake Forest got a sick defense, so it's up to you guys. There's so many better games out there. Florida, they took it to Georgia, so. And Kentucky's just a bad team. They're just a bad team all around, so the smarter play is Florida. They're playing better football than Kentucky. So I always got to give it to whoever's the better team, and Florida is the better team, so I'll give it to Florida. Alabama's also the better team over LSU. Point spread also agrees. But LSU has a way of keeping it close for anybody, so. But I got to give it to Alabama. And Notre Dame also covers over Navy. They just have their number every time. Last year, or the year before, I thought, Navy will hold up to the points, and Notre Dame just blew them out. So I think there's going to be another blowout. Navy just can't play with a team like Notre Dame. This game, I can't touch it. They're both horrible. And Nebraska, in theory, should be UCLA, but UCLA was on a hot streak, and then they just got cold the last few games, so I would give the edge to Nebraska, but I'd rather just not touch this game because I know what UCLA can do if they play good. But I would say Nebraska's a more solid pick. But then look at this in theory. Nebraska's 6-3. And UCLA is 3-5 and their favorite. That makes no sense. So everybody's gonna bet Nebraska. So I'd rather just not touch this game. UNLV is also the better team, even though they disappointed the hell out of me this Saturday. I still gotta give them the edge. Colorado State is just a bad team. I'd rather just not touch this game. I'd rather just not touch it. And San Diego State again, another team that they've been covering all the games. Every single game they've been covering. These guys are on beast mode. I hope that momentum doesn't stop with Hawaii. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. So I'm going with San Diego State all the way. Thank God it's the last game, too. Probably be a good game to reverse on your parlay, All right, guys. I think I called it pretty good. I let you know who I really liked and who I didn't. Go for the ones that you think are solid, and I gave you a lot of solid ones. All right, guys.